Welcome back to another video. My name is Patrick Jang. I hope you're having an amazing day. As you can tell from the title of this video, the fat loss phase is over. I decided to call it a week early, call it where I was. In this video, I'm gonna go over exactly why I decided to call it early, plans moving forward from this point on, and give you guys a little rough blueprint of my lean bulk for the rest of the year, and then my plans for 2022's cut. I'll also be showcasing my final physique / weigh-in. I'll go into detail of my reasonings why I decided to call it before my set goal of 160 pounds on the scale. Other than that, this entire journey has been pretty amazing so far. Proud of all the work that I've done, all the effort I put in. Yeah, it just feels nice not to have to worry about a caloric deficit all the time, and feels like a burden has been lifted off my shoulders. I still enjoyed the whole process because I achieved something great. I achieved a better physique than I did last year, and that's always a goal for every year, to just beat my previous physiques. So with that being said, let's jump right into the final physique update and final weigh-in for the fat loss phase. Didn't hit the 160 pound goal, but we're literally 1.5 pounds away. This is a more fun look of everything here. Yeah. Definitely gained some muscle on. Overall, the back held up pretty well here. Not bad. But we still have a ton of work to do to build up even more, because I know I have a lot more potential to grow. So a quick little TLDR if you guys don't want like full detailed explanation of why I decided to end the fat loss phase a week and a half early was there's no Vegas trip. My physique is where I want it to be. Don't see the point of suffering for another week to get like another pound and a half of water weight off my body when visually it'll make no difference. But to go into further detail, the whole point of my annual fat loss phase is to prep for the Vegas trip, Memorial Day weekend with my friends. But with the whole pandemic happening, it obviously got canceled, but I still decided to go forth with the fat loss phase, just for getting into shape for my own personal benefit, challenging myself. And for the most part, I pretty much got it all done. I'm exactly where I wanted to be in terms of conditioning, and the more the weeks went by, the more it didn't make sense for me to continue. Early on in like the first phase of the fat loss phase, I had a lot of drive to just achieve like lean physique. And when I got to the lean physique towards the beginning of the maintenance phase, I really reconsidered my why and why I was like continuing to do that. And then when people ask me, so why are you dieting right now? I'm like, that's a great question. And the more I thought about it, the more I reconsidered the pros and cons of doing this kind of thing. So that's kind of what led to this video. I actually had something else planned. Pretty much done with the fat loss phase now. Completely satisfied of where I want to be in terms of conditioning and leanness. Don't see any benefit of continuing any forward, since there really is no, because I've already reached my end goal, and now I can just focus on maintenance, reintroduce the social aspect of eating with my family, friends. I don't have to put off like going out to eat because I have to worry about being in a caloric deficit and doing all my cardio and stuff like that. Like, that stuff is like super mentally draining, and it's kind of hard to explain to people when you can't eat like a certain thing because you're dieting. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cruise in maintenance for maybe like a couple weeks, so body can settle around 166, 167. Then transition into a bulk, probably bulk up to anywhere from like 185 to 190. I honestly don't mind looking a little heavier, chubbier. One of the main reasons why I wanted to diet down to 160 pounds was I was dieting down super low in anticipation of me drinking and eating a lot in Vegas. So I wanted to diet a little extra in anticipation of the damage that I was gonna do. So when I came back from that trip, I wasn't like too blown up in terms of just like overall aesthetic physique appearance. Just gonna focus on spending more time with friends, family, eating how with them because I've been just putting them off for like 4 or 5 months. And I know that part of this whole process is a little bit selfish, but we got plenty of time in the year to make things happen, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, it's pretty early on in the morning, but I'm still gonna keep my same routine of working out super early in the morning, going out on walks, being active throughout the entire week. While fat gain is inevitable during a bulk, I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum compared to the previous years. So we ended up getting a treadmill for the backyard gym. We ended up buying a Soul F80, as you can see here. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks to, keep myself on the caloric deficit. So far, had no complaints for my own personal use, or just strictly walking, incline walking. Premium cardio machine. Other than that, only con is that it's super expensive. I don't need to tell you the price because you can just Google it and you can see how much it costs yourself. Key takeaways from this 2021 fat loss phase I'm going to talk about in this video. Probably won't get under 165 pounds ever again, unless it's for a specific reason, like going to Vegas, going on vacation somewhere, or prepping for something that requires me to be a little more lean for, like, let's say, like photos for like professional headshot where I need my face to look a little more lean, or hell, maybe in like bodybuilding show, but that most likely won't happen. It's not to say it won't ever happen, but it's not likely. Reason being is I like how I look physically at 165 pounds, 164 pounds. And during my maintenance phase, I felt like this was like the right way to be at for my settling point. Everyone has like a certain settling point where they feel good and then they feel strong. For me, I feel good at 165. Realistically, I feel good and strong around the 170 to 175 range, but then at the cost of looking a little heavier, a little fluffier. Being this lean does come with the cost of feeling cold all the time. I find myself feeling cold and hungry like the last 3-4 weeks, even at maintenance where I'm eating like where I'm supposed to be at to maintain. And sometimes like even on maintenance I'm still super hungry, so it kind of just like sucks. Another key takeaway is I've trained harder than I've ever done before. I've improved on techniques in my squat and other exercises, which improve the efficiency of my training sessions. I've also improved the recovery from session to session, allowing me to have better and more productive workouts. With one exception, with my hamstrings, they were like never recovered 90% of the time due to the fact that I'm always on my feet. Working a server job 6 days a week, doing hours of cardio after those days, just to keep myself in a caloric deficit while having a decent amount of food without me going insane. But I know that once I implement more food in me, it'll allow me to recover a lot better with more carbs. So I'll be able to build back anything that I potentially could have lost from my hamstring size in my bulk. So there's that. Last thing I want to highlight on this 2021 fat loss phase was that I improved my quality of sleep and routine drastically. I reduced the amount of days where I don't get less than 7 hours of sleep. I've done a really good job consistently getting 8 hours of sleep. Usually sleeping no later by 12, 12:30 and waking up around 8 every single day. And then wake up, train, work. There was a 2-month period where I did double shifts for 6 days a week. So it'd be, double shifts for 6 days a week for 2 months straight, and then right after cardio. Doing that was extremely tough because I had to be very, very good with time management. If I wasted time in any of those areas, another area in my life would suffer. So if I woke up late, I would have less time to work out, be tired for work on those double shifts, and then be extremely dead doing my cardio after work. And then it would kind of just snowball into the next day. And the next day I quickly realized that in like the beginning stages of the fat loss phase, if I wanted to be the most productive like for every aspect in that day, for training, work, and cardio, I had to get everything on point and I could not fall behind the schedule. So I'm gonna quickly dive into what I'm gonna do for the rest of the year. So my plans for the rest of 2021 kind of looks like this. I'm going to be going through a maintenance phase till the end of mid-May, and then afterwards we're going to be transitioning into a lean bulk from the end of May to the beginning of December. And then just like how I did with my cutting phase, I'm going to have a whole 4 to 5 weeks, basically a month at the new
weight I'm going to be at in December, which is ideally going to be heavier to have it as like a settling point. And then starting January 1st of 2022, we're going to be doing our cutting phase for 2022 from January to May for our Vegas trip for 2022. That's gonna happen. I don't care. Corona's gonna be non-existent by then. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, we're gonna be cutting from January 1st to March 6th, and then take a 45-week maintenance phase, just like we did for this year's fat loss phase. And then we're gonna finish off the fat loss phase with however many weeks that I need to, you know, kind of just get to the same body composition, maybe a little leaner, depending on how bad I anticipate myself, you know, kind of just consuming calories and drinking alcohol. Vegas 2022. My plans for the bulk are to gain 0.5%, maybe a little less, depending on, you know, how bad it's going to affect my physique visually. So we're going to be gaining 0.5% per week up until December. Maintain. I quickly calculated my bulking macros really quick before I did my little camera setup here. So we're kind of looking at like 65 grams of fat, 409 grams of carbs, and 245 grams of protein. I'm increasing my protein by like 40-ish grams, not because like eating more protein, you know, builds more muscle. The only reason why I'm increasing my protein is just so I could have more satiety from my food. In the past, I've had, you know, anywhere from 170 to 185, 190 grams of protein. While that's more than what any normal person needs, I'm increasing it even higher just so I can feel full without having to consume like any more calories than I need. I just have a big appetite, and I'm hoping by increasing from 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to 1.5 grams of protein per body weight, I just get fuller faster. And yeah, that's pretty much the rough blueprint of the rest of the year going into next year. So from this point on, we're pretty much going to be working on building a better foundation for so from this point on, we're pretty much building a better physique for next year's trip. I know we didn't get to go this year, but you know, it's not to say all the work went to waste. You know, I brought up my physique in areas where I was lacking a little bit, but there's still a lot of room to improvement. It's like an endless cycle of improvement, but that's the beauty of the game of bodybuilding and stuff like that. I'm going to be implementing mini cuts throughout this bulking phase if my, you know, weight gain kind of gets out of hand. You know, if I have one too many cheat meals or cheat weeks, but you know, realistically, cheat meals, not cheat weeks, because that's too crazy. We're going to be running the same program over and over again to keep the progress consistent in the gym. Might switch up the exercise selection here and there, put in the hours, and see the fruits of my labor by the next year. So that's gonna be the end of this video and the end of this fat loss phase series. Thank you guys so much for following me on this journey. It's been quite a ride from, you know, me being my heaviest at 188 to now my ending weight of like 162, 163. I'm ready to put in the hours with all this extra carbohydrates and calories in me, and yeah, that's pretty much it for 2021's fat loss phase. I've already planned to record a celebration video after this video has gone live, so be on the lookout for my next video after this one. It's going to be, you know, quite a celebration from the end of the fat loss phase, and it's something I've been, you know, kind of holding off, and it's been kind of long overdue since like 200 subs. So be looking forward to a ton of calories coming your way. Well, most of the calories is going to be me consuming it, but you kind of get an idea of what's coming next. But anyways, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Leave me a comment in the comment section below to let me know your life. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time when I'm bulking.